Hello everyone, and welcome to my single-player world tour. If you don't know what you're looking at, well, you can probably just go ahead and close the window and move on. You'll be even more bored than the people who know what's happening and decide to actually keep watching. We are currently on top of my max height mob grinding tower above my seat chunk, and as you can see, there's a nice sunrise to meet us. Let's see what's going on over there. Looking down on what I've dubbed as the pseudo-dome, for reasons I'll explain later, it gives a good overview of the project as a whole. The base radius of my home is 80 meters. All of the glass used to encase the project, as well as below, to retain the water, I dug and smelted all by hand. I make mention of this because as of late, I've resorted to using Edit to give myself copious amounts of diamond tools, and a few other miscellaneous things simply for time's sake. The project's original working title was October because I figured it'd take about that long to complete. I started around the 5th of October, and as of posting this, it's the 22nd, or 23rd of November. We're now going to take a quick semi-circumnavigational tour around the outside of the dome to give a feel of its size. We just passed the water bridge on the left, made so I can readily get in and out of the dome without there being anything actually physically connecting the dome to the surrounding terrain. More on the bridge later. I would, however, like to take this opportunity, since we have little time to fill, to explain why I call it the pseudo-dome. I'm sure anyone with the experience of building a dome in-game, not using an importer, has at least heard of the voxel sphere generators that are around. Any of the ones I could find that worked crashed when I tried to put in my 80 radius value, so I didn't have much luck with that route. I instead opted to use MS Paint to make an 80 pixel circle that I used to lay out the initial circle. I then proceeded to create, one by one, a circle for each of the successive, but 1 unit smaller circles, thinking I could just use concentric circles to create a sphere. I think it would have turned out okay if I didn't forget to keep the arc slope of the outside consistent with that of a circle instead of a linear digression. When it finally dawned on me that I was in fact creating a cone and not a sphere, it was too late to turn back, and I did my best to patch it up. We're just going to cruise to a stop here and go ahead and take a look on top. As we're moving up the face of the dome, if you look closely under the water on the inside, you'll be able to see that the dome, in fact, is completely separate from the surrounding terrain. I also did my best to preserve the original layout of the land on the inside, and currently have no plans to build anything in that layer. Currently my plan is to hollow out the interior of the remaining land masses to create rooms, minecart stations, etc. Kinda like the sunroof I'm showing now, that looks all the way down to the current bottom layer. I know this isn't exactly the best view, but it gives you an idea. And now we're going to see a good distance view of my mob tower, where we started. And I'm just going to go ahead and move into the center here and try and give like a decent panoramic view of everything before we go ahead and move on. Alright, what I'm about to show you is top secret, so seriously, you can't tell anyone what I'm about to show you. You have to promise. Seriously. You're like still looking? Can I get any privacy? No? Government is the security of my dome. So while you're distracted by the pretty waterfall there, I'm gonna sneak into my secret tree passage. Damn, I said it out loud. Well, now that everyone knows about my super secret tree passage, thanks guys for telling everyone. I'm just gonna have to make a new secret passage. Moving on to magic tricks. I will attempt to make a boat appear from thin air. Hitcha! Now things are gonna get weird because I'm going to stare at the camera. So I've been experimenting with underwater lighting, and I'm still undecided as to whether I should keep the light stone or get rid of it. Excuse my poor camera handling. When driving the boat backwards, the mouse controls are backwards and confusing. Like I mentioned earlier though, all the glass used to retain the water was hand dug and smelted. We're now looking down on my lame ass tree, which we'll get a better look here soon. Piggy came to say hi to the interwebs. Be nice! Say hi back! Now for a quick boat tour of the inside premises. If you look on your right coming up, you can see the staircase that leads from the bottom of the inside of my main halls. Oh, excuse me, bottom to the inside of my main halls, which we'll see here in a minute. Right here I was yelling like, shit, shit, don't break on the grass, keep the boat okay. Okay. Well, now you are free to continue with the absurdity of your feet dangling out of the back of the boat facing the wrong direction. Carry on. Here's a natural archway that I like, and my front door on the right. On the left, here coming up, where you'll see a single block of glass that reaches the surface, and the torch directly beneath it is where I have a large sub-project planned for a future date. The laying of the glass along the bottom of this portion was, well, tedious, we'll say. This site itself was a whole day of gathering an inventory full of sand, using stone shovels, and returning to smelt it and lay the glass, rinse, repeat, all day. I then went through, still using copious amounts of stone tools, and removed any dirt that was beneath the glass, and using TNT from my mob grinder to break the dome away from the terrain for a post to my favorite site, which will go unnamed. On the 6th of November, what did I write that for? Anyway, when I get off the boat here, I'm just gonna herp and derp about like a noob-tard until I get to the other side. I'll just wait to talk until then. Here's the sunroof from earlier, and now we'll go ahead and take a look on the inside. If you thought, making that boat appear with magic tricks was pretty cool, how about telekinesis? Presto. Change it. So here's my main storage area for the time being, albeit very small. And now we can get a much clearer view of the suspended water and the bedrock far beneath the staircase leading down. Behind me is another staircase leading to the interior. I have some of it cleared out and my portal complete, but I still have a lot more planned. Remember how I mentioned that the dome wasn't physically attached to the surrounding terrain? Well, I managed to detach the stairway as well, like so, where I can get on it from the side but still walk over the top. To do the majority of the clearing of the bedrock to the point it is now, I used Embedded to get lots of diamond tools and TNT. We'll now head down to the cleared space for the last portion of the tour. Now we've reached the bottom, which is about 6 to 7 blocks from the adminium, where the lava pools occur naturally. Looking up, you get a clear picture of the underside of the land masses that I sculpted by hand. I'm very happy with the end result. In the distance you can see the waterfall from earlier. All the dirt you're seeing here was placed by hand. I built a dirt staircase that led from near the tower where the grass occurred naturally, and placed torches all along the path and left it running overnight to get all the grass. Lava beneath the glass here was a bit tricky, but I figured out you can use 2 block deep water to fix that. So everything's all nice and smooth, and you don't have all those little weird water flows going all over the place. I still have a lot of work to do on the tree, but hopefully I can get it to look a little bit more natural. I plan on extending this forest area much further, but I have yet to clear enough rock to do so. The waterfall there will take you to the surface inside the dome. I do have multiple themes planned for other areas, like the one I mentioned earlier. This water here will join up with other water flows that I built. Now all that's left to see is what's waiting inside the tree. Got a little pool here, a couple chests, and it's water flowing. So I'm gonna go ahead and jump in the boat here. And things can never go quite smoothly for me, so I get stuck here. And the water on the inside leads out to the water bridge, which I mentioned earlier. It will take me outside, and this will be the conclusion of the tour. Thanks for hanging out for the trip. I hope to have more releases in the future when I get more stuff implemented. I'll leave you guys with a picture of my mob tower, where if you look close enough, you'll see I made a few mistakes with the pouring of the lava over the corners there. Now I shall wave goodbye as I drift off into the setting sun. Thanks everyone for watching.